BEFM 부산영어방송.
오늘 부산 지역 미세먼지 농도
Air quality in Busan is currently rated bad.
High fine dust concentrations are
Taking a look
expected
at the
today.
Fine dust level is getting higher. So, this is what we can do to protect ourselves from the growing level of fine dust. First, check out the fine dust level before you go out and make sure to wear a mask when the fine dust level is high. Also, don't forget to wash your hands when you return home. Even if the fine dust is not visible, it doesn't mean your hands are clean enough. Lastly, follow the alternate no driving system to reduce the fine dust from cars. These are very simple yet powerful ways to protect ourselves from the fine dust. Let's all take part in this campaign and stay healthy. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, 부산영어방송.
During the span of 1,023 days, from August 18, 1950, 2 months after the Korean War had begun, until August 15, 1953, when the Korean government was re-established in Seoul, the city of Busan had served as the provisional capital. The president and government officials, soldiers and civilians had all made their way down to Busan to avoid the war. A city of 400,000 quickly turned into a city of 1 million. Since then, 8 places, which include the Provisional Government Building, the Busan Modern History Museum, and the UN Memorial Park, have been listed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In 2025, the list of World Heritage Sites will be finalized by UNESCO. Korea, one of the last remaining divided countries in the world, and the city of Busan, once the provisional capital, still value and send out that same message of peace. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
The time is now 2 o'clock.
Welcome to BFM News at 2. I'm David Kim. The People Power Party PPP appointed 4 new members to its interim emergency leadership committee led by Hwang Woo-ye on Sunday. The newly nominated members include sitting lawmakers Yoo Sang-bum, Jeon Joo-hae, Tae-young, and recently elected Kim Yong-tae, who are known allies of President Yoon Suk-yeol. However, Jeon Joo-hae did not retain her seat in the recent elections. These nominations will be confirmed at the PPP's National Standing Committee meeting today. The committee's main responsibility is to reorganize the party following its significant electoral losses and to establish guidelines for a national convention to select a new party leader. A group of North Korean defectors said today that they had released approximately 20 large balloons from Ganghwa Island near the western border with North Korea. These balloons were filled with 300,000 leaflets denouncing the North Korean government and 2,000 USB sticks containing K-pop music, according to Park Sang-hak, the leader of the Fighters for a Free North Korea, FFNK. A video documenting the event showed a banner attached to the balloons declaring, quote-unquote, Kim Jong-un, he is nothing but an irreversible traitor and an enemy of our people. Park criticized the North Korean leader for obstructing the reunification of Korea and maintaining his authoritarian rule. In local news, from September, the Busan Metropolitan Office of Education will pilot the Family Reading Project in 15 school libraries, a first in the nation. This initiative is part of the Reading Change program, a follow-up to Busan's character education initiative, Morning Change. It aims to foster proper character from early childhood through reading, enriching emotional and humanistic qualities. The Bank of Korea's Busan branch and the Busan International Finance Center Promotion Agency are recruiting participants until the 31st for the 2024 Busan Economic and Financial Frontier Program. This free program running from June till November includes special lectures, presentations, discussions, and practical financial training at institutions housed in the Busan International Finance Center. Interested university students can apply by submitting an application form available on the Bank of Korea Busan branch's website www.bok.or.kr/Busan or via email. To reduce educational expenses for families with multiple children, the City of Busan and the Busan Metropolitan Office of Education are promoting the Busan Multi-Child Educational Support Points project. The initiative, revised last October to include families with 2 or more children, offers support points of 300,000 won for 2-child families and 500,000 won for families with 3 or more children, regardless of their income or property they own. These points can be used at local currency Dongbaekjeon affiliate stores for educational expenses like textbooks, study spaces, arts and sports lessons, and stationery costs. However, they cannot be used for private tutoring in subjects like math and English. In international news, at least 37 individuals died due to flash floods and cold lava flows resulting from a volcanic eruption on the western Indonesian island of Sumatra. Mount Marapi, known as Sumatra's most active volcano, experienced hours of intense rainfall on Saturday local time, triggering flows of ash and rocks. These cold lava mudslides, consisting of volcanic debris and pebbles mixed with rainwater, devastated 2 districts by claiming lives, destroying over 100 residences, mosques, and public buildings. The death toll may rise as 18 people remain unaccounted for. And now taking a quick look at the weather here. It's currently 24 degrees Celsius under clear skies. Air quality in the city is rated healthy. The mercury is forecast to gradually cool to 13 degrees Celsius tonight. And that'll have to do it for this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Coming up next is Steve Hatherly Reboot with Steve Hatherly. BFM Busan 영어방송.
What you're about to hear is amazing. That's because you're locked in to Busan's #1 English radio station. Whether you're at home, at work, or driving in your car, you will be exposed to radio excellence. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show because it starts right now.
Staying positive is always a good thing, right? I think we can agree with that. Times get hard, things get tough, but we need to keep that good attitude about us. And it's true, sometimes things do get tough, things happen in life, but when they do, we're always told to cheer up or to keep our head up. So I wonder, is there such a thing as too much positivity? Well, according to one person, the answer is, yes, there is. And we'll talk about that on the show today. It's Monday, May 13th, 2024. I'm Steve Hatherly. This is Steve Hatherly Reboot. Let's go. That was Conan Gray with Ali Rose, and that is a heartbreak anthem. You can tell just by the way it sounds, right? The song opens with Gray picking up his soon-to-be ex, their tear-stained faces foreshadowing the dissolving love. The lyrics are a bittersweet mix of passion. For example, you wrapped your fingers around my neck, and then finality, I knew it'd be the last. Later, Gray admits to having expecting hardship in the relationship, but this person had offered a glimpse of hope for something better. He had hoped that they could have been the start of a positive change in his life, but guess it didn't work out that way, at least according to that song. Conan Gray got us going today. I am live in the studio from Busan on this stellar Monday afternoon. Oh boy, does it not feel like a beach day today. We are in the middle of summer, it feels like this afternoon. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous Monday afternoon. Welcome to the show, everyone. You're tuned in on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Jongguan, and Noksan areas. In Seoul on TBS EFM 101.3 and in Gwangju on GFN 98.7. I am your host, Steve Hatherly, and I am happy you are with us today. Monday, kicking off your work week once again as we get into the middle of the month of June. Don't worry, we've got a holiday coming up in just a couple of days. Buddha's birthday is on the way. That means it's a red day on the calendar. And the holidays continue to come here in the month of May. It really is, break-wise, the best month of the year, outside, of course, of summer vacations as well. When did you take your summer vacation, by the way? Napidi, last year, if I remember correctly, neither you nor I took a summer vacation, right? You didn't take one, and I didn't take one either. Let's not make that mistake again this year, huh? We need that type of break from time to time. When do you take it? Do you take it in June or July or August? I think, Napidi, when's the big holiday season in Korea? Is it August when it's the big summer vacation week? Kind of everybody goes on vacation at the same time. He's saying, yeah, it's in August. Okay, well, still a couple of months to come before that day comes, I suppose. Anyway, let's talk about the show today. Go to youtube.com and search BEFM or Busan영어방송 in Korean. There you can watch our live stream. And please do that. And when you're there, hit subscribe as well, if you don't mind. We are nearly at 11,000 subscribers now, which is fantastic. 10.9K. So only a few more to go until we get to 11K. Well done, gang. Well done indeed. So keep telling your friends. Keep telling your coworkers. Keep telling the teller at the bank, your doctor, anybody, the guy driving the subway, the lady driving the bus, makes no difference whatsoever. Tell anyone you can and get our subscriber numbers up. This is really good news, though, that the numbers are growing so quickly. When you're there, you can watch our live stream until the songs start to play. You can do that as well. You can hear, you used to be able to hear, through the live stream, the music a little bit, but times have changed, and now you have to open up your BEFM app, or you can listen through FM radio as well. And that's how you can get the whole show. That's kind of annoying, I know. It's annoying for us as well, but it is what it is, as they say, and that's how you can get the whole package. The reason for that, music copyright issues, nothing we can do about that for now, but we do appreciate your patience and your understanding while the team works on that. All right, let's get to the content for today's show. Coming up in hour number one, we'll start things off with Hot Off the Press, where you will hear some trendy music that has been newly released. I'll give you some information on the artists and on the songs as well. After that, Need to Know time. Casey will be in the studio. Monday afternoon means Casey's in the studio for today's Need to Know, and he'll bring some under-the-radar news stories from outside the mainstream media, but are still important to us. We kick off his segment at around 2:30, so he'll join me in just about 15 minutes' time. Casey will stay with me for what remains of hour number one. Then in hour number two, well, it's Monday, so it's kind of like human psychology behavior day. You know I love this topic. And we're going to talk about, for our fun fact of the day, some positive affirmations to live by. These are things, affirmations, if you don't know, they're kind of things that you maybe say in the mirror to yourself when you wake up in the morning, when you're getting ready, before you leave the house. You might look at your own camera and say, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and people like me. That is an affirmation. That's an example of an affirmation. Things that you say to yourself to make yourself feel good, to make yourself have a positive frame of mind, those types of things. So first, we're going to look at the positive affirmations. Then we're going to move on to me, myself, and I. And there's a man out there by the name of Dave Tarnowski, and he's a mental health advocate, and he's an author as well. Now, according to him, according to Dave, we should be pushing back at this culture of relentless, what he calls relentless toxic positivity. In his opinion, there's too much of these types of daily affirmations, too much. Social media is absolutely filled with this type of stuff. And he says there's too much. And he suggests that it could be somewhat damaging to us if we're just constantly thinking in this positive type of way. There are some negative downsides to that, and it's an interesting topic to kind of debate. So that's why today I thought first, let's go with the positive affirmations for our fun fact of the day. And then after that, let's go with the opposite and say we shouldn't be filling our head with these affirmations. I have 30 affirmations that I can choose from. I'm going to go over some of them. Some I kind of agree with, to be honest with you. I agree with some of these things that we should kind of be reminding ourselves about. Life lessons kind of thing, but some of them are just a little bit too much. So I'll share my opinions about the ones that I like and the ones that I don't like as well. So that'll be fun fact and me, myself, and I. After that, we'll move on to perfect playlist, where we have the best songs for every situation, and I will check your messages throughout the program as well. All right, so here's my question for you today. And this is kind of along the lines of the affirmations, things we think about in our life, words to live by, if you will. This is what I want to know. What is your life motto these days? And it doesn't have to be your lifelong motto. It could be your temporary motto. Mottos maybe come and go. Mottos can change as well, right? When I was younger, one of my mottos was, in fact, my main motto was, do it until it's not fun anymore, which is a fun way to live, but it's not always an option, right? When you have increased responsibilities and you can't simply walk away from those responsibilities. Sometimes that luxury does exist for people and sometimes it doesn't. So that was one for me that I held on to for a long time, actually. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, the reason that was a life motto for me is because when I was very young, I lost 2 cousins to cancer. And at that time, I thought to myself, I'm just going to do whatever I want in life. I'm going to go wherever I want. I'm going to do whatever I want because we don't know when our light goes out, so to speak, right? So that's when I developed that motto, when I was maybe 18 or 19 years old. Well, I'm not 18 or 19 years old anymore, so I've kind of abandoned that one a little bit. I haven't lost my adventurous side at all, I would say. But at the same time, with more life comes more responsibilities. That's not the Spider-Man quote, is it? It kind of sounds like it, though. Anyway, yeah, so mottos can come and go. So what's your motto these days? What is it right now? 여러분의 좌우명은 무엇인가요? Text me after giving it some thought if you don't know the answer right away. Pounder sharp 9050. That will cost you 100 won. Add us on Kakao Talk for free. Send messages for free by searching BEFM or Busan영어방송 in Korean. Same search on your smartphone. You can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. All right, you've got all the info you need for now. We'll have a break, and when we come back, we'll check out today's hot off the press. Here is Olivia Rodrigo, Obsessed. was Olivia Rodrigo with Obsessed. I'm back, and it's time for today's Hot Off the Press, where from Monday to Friday we bring you two of the newest, hottest tracks from the world of music. And a lot of songs get released every single week, and we choose a couple each day that we hope you'll enjoy. We'll start today with the new one from Fitz and the Tantrums. This is called No Goodbyes, Friends Forever. Multi-platinum band Fitz and the Tantrums have released their brand new single, and on the track, Fitz and the Tantrums interpret Vitamin C's 1999 classic Graduation Friends Forever, which just celebrated its 25th birthday. The nostalgic hook brims with optimism and a reminder that there's no goodbyes, just see you later. Regarding the song, they said, "School's winding down and summer is upon us. However, we wanted to remind everyone to never say goodbye forever. Those middle school, high school, and college friendships make us who we are. Even if we don't see those same people every day anymore, we carry those experiences forever." Wise words. After that, the new one from Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I Had Some Help. After teasing their new song during their performance, Post Malone has officially dropped his new country single with Morgan Wallen, a new foray into the country genre. Post is staying true to his words when he said that he wanted to further explore country music. Fans, therefore, have been expecting Post to make a country album for what seems like a while now. During his set at a festival, he performed a series of country covers and brought out country stars Brad Paisley, Sarah Evans, and Dwight Yoakam. There's a blast from the country past. He's also set to perform at the Academy of Country Music Awards on May 16th as well. Here we go with our two tracks for Hot Off the Press today. New from Fitz and the Tantrums, No Goodbyes, Friends Forever. Then new from Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I Had Some Help. Those were our two tracks for Hot Off the Press today. Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I Had Some Help. And before that, Fitz and the Tantrums' new track, No Goodbyes, Friends Forever. My question for you today, we're going to be talking about daily affirmations in hour number 2 for our fun fact. We're going to go over some of those. And then after that, we're going to go with the opposite theme, why that kind of positivity may be considered toxic positivity. It's an interesting phrase, isn't it? Toxic and positivity aren't two things that seem to go together like peanut butter and jam. But what it means is too much positivity can harm you. And I thought if we're going to talk about that in hour number 2, then a good question of the day for today is about your motto. And I mentioned before that, mottos come and go. We get new mottos sometimes at different stages in our lives. So what is your current motto right now in your life? 여러분의 좌우명은 무엇인가요? All right, let's check some of your answers here. Keith got in touch. Keith on our YouTube chat. Hi, Steve. My name's Keith. And my motto is never give up. Nowadays, the economic conditions are not good. So whenever I feel like I'm in front of a wall, I am saying to myself, saying in my mind, never ever give up. And to cheer up. Yeah, Keith, first of all, thanks for the message. And your message reminds me of that famous speech by a U.S. Navy admiral, I want to say. We played the clip on the show months and months ago, and his expression, or the way that he put it, was never ring the bell. In the Navy training camp or in the Marine training camp, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with U.S. military stuff, but there's a bell in the middle of the camp, and when you want to quit, then you ring the bell, and that's a signal to everyone that you've quit. So it kind of puts you on the spot, doesn't it? So that Navy, I think it was a Navy admiral, his advice was, in life, never ring that bell. Never, ever ring that bell. And Keith, that's kind of what you're talking about there, I think, as well. Thanks for that message. A couple more. We'll save them for hour number 2, though. Keep your answers coming in. What is your life motto right now? At this particular time in life. 여러분의 좌우명은 무엇인가요? Text me, #9050. That will cost you 101. Add us on Kakao Talk for free. Send messages for free by searching BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Same search on your smartphone. You can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. Monday afternoon, and Casey's here. How you doing, sir?
Good, Steve. How you doing?
Well, look at us. We're like brothers today.
Oh, sweet.
We're
sponsored by the team.
We are sponsored by the same shirt maker today. You've gone with gray. I've gone with pink. I have the gray.
Do you have this shade of gray as well?
I do have that one. Yeah. Do you have the pink?
I don't. I can't pull off pink.
You don't think so?
No, I've tried.
I remember when I went to this particular shop and I saw that they had this shirt in like 7 different colors.
Right.
I just bought 7 different colors.
The whole rainbow.
Because this kind of shirt when the weather gets hot is my type of fashion.
Yeah, I would. I guess I could say it's comfortable. I'll put it that way.
Which is very
no plug-in.
Which is very North American of us, isn't it?
Yes, comfort counts.
Do you have cargo shorts?
I do, but I haven't broke those out in a while because I haven't broken those out. Grammar. I haven't broken those out in a while because my wife is like, don't wear those.
Exactly. Women hate cargo shorts.
I don't. What's the problem? I need a space for my knife and my water tumbler.
Yeah. In case you have to do some emergency camping.
Right.
Yeah. You never know.
Flashlight.
Right? All right. So what is your answer to today's question, Casey? What's your life motto right now at this moment?
Life motto. Never say never. Because I always say no to a lot of things, and I'm really trying to change that. So never say never. Because you never know, like, when you're going to change your attitude about doing certain things or, maybe trying certain things.
Reminds me of Jim Carrey's movie, Yes Man.
Right. I want to be the yes man, kind of.
To a degree.
Because that could get you into trouble, too.
You say no a lot. So
I do.
So, for example, to what types of things?
Well, again, my wife, I'm on my wife today, but she often says, like, anytime she asks me to do something, my first answer is no before I even think about it.
Oh, really?
Because I have a very busy schedule these days, And even the mere thought of somebody reorganizing something, I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
So I don't even think about it. I'm just like, no. But
That's your auto response.
yeah. So, and then, a lot of times, like, if I say no to something at first, and then I might regret it later. I was like, oh, I wish I hadn't said no to that. Or, sometimes when I do kind of agree to do something and not in the best mood about it. But then I ended up doing it and I'm like, why was this such a big deal to say?
It's a bad habit that a lot of people have, and I'm guilty of that sometimes too. Someone will ask me to do something and I'll say yes, but then I'll just complain about it.
Right.
But if you're going to do it, then don't complain about it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Right.
And be quiet while you're doing it, right? Because you're stressing the person out who's asked you to do that favor. Yeah.
Totally. Guilty.
Good lessons to learn. It's time for Need to Know, time for some under-the-radar news stories. So where are we going today? What are we learning today?
Well, today we're going to take a trip to the Bored Panda. It's this. It's a fascinating site.
It's a great website, sure.
Right, okay. I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
But this is kind of in my wheelhouse. You were talking about toxic positivity, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we're just going to talk about toxicity, period. One thing we worry about these days are things like plastic. It's hard to get rid of plastic, even when I've got so many things at home. Like I'm just like, can I get a non-plastic version of this by now? We use the wooden toothbrushes even.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
So, according to Statista, is a statistics website, we currently produce more than 350 million metric tons of plastic waste per year. I can't even fathom that kind of number, to be honest.
I know, right?
But the worst part about that is if we don't make any changes, global plastic waste generation is projected to triple. So however big that number is, it's supposed to triple by 2060. So should we just accept the fact that, we fail? Should we just admit it? We're always going to have plastic?
So it's not that it's bad now and we're continuing on at our current rate of use.
Yeah.
Our rate of use is going to increase.
It's increasing all the time, yeah. It's not, there's no downtrend whatsoever.
Gosh, do they provide any reasons for that? I mean, why it's increasing? Is it just because the world's population continues to grow? Or is it because we ourselves on the planet are just becoming more and more wasteful?
I think those are both, to a degree, part of the problem. But another problem, they don't specifically mention this in the article, but they did kind of point to the fact that things that could replace plastic are still too expensive to make. It's just so much cheaper to make things out of plastic still. So until that improves, which will involve some technology improvements and, when things are able to be made faster and more efficiently, then they usually get cheaper, right?
Right.
So that's a big issue at the moment, but there's a kind of another way to think about this. If we already have this much plastic and we already have this much plastic garbage, well, why not just reuse it? Right?
Reuse the plastic garbage?
Right. So this article, and I've seen this in a couple of headlines recently, it's about advanced recycling. Have you ever heard of this?
Advanced recycling, no. What is it?
Okay. So advanced recycling, that's the idea. It's typical recycling that we're used to is like, okay, we got this bottle, throw it in the bin. If it's the right kind of plastic, maybe they'll chop it up and then reuse it, right? But it degrades each time you do that, and then it becomes unusable at a point. So advanced recycling, instead of a mechanical process like that, it's a chemical process, and it's basically going to melt the plastic, sometimes literally melt the plastic into its basic components so that it can be used again. And then over and over without having to create new plastic, which comes usually from crude oil.
There's no byproduct of melting that plastic down, because if you're melting it, you're burning it, and if you're burning it, there's usually some sort of chemical release or smoke, something. So there's nothing there?
Oh, there's plenty there. That's the issue.
That's the problem, okay.
Right, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But they're getting better at this, and there's kind of like two tracks that people are trying to decide whether they're going to follow. One is called pyrolysis, which is not what you feel on Sunday morning when you can't get up and you're just, I don't want to do anything. This is basically you're heating it until it melts, but it doesn't burn. So they're heating it up to like 500 degrees Celsius, these plastic waste, but it doesn't burn. However, it does still have some unwanted side effects. Like there's going to be like micro, particles that are left over, and this could end up in the air as well if it's not filtered out. The other one they talk about is gasification. And that sounds like maybe if you've had too much Mexican food over the weekend. That's not what that is either. Thank you. Thank you. This is where they take the plastic waste and instead of kind of like melting it, they actually skip that step of melting and convert it straight to a gas. Again, requiring high heat.
Which of these is one better than the other?
It's kind of like, it seems like it's up in the air from what I'm reading. The one good thing about pyrolysis is that it requires less energy. It's less energy intensive, and it's done faster. And it makes the byproducts or the end products of pyrolysis are things we can use, like oil, diesel, naphtha, whatever that is, waxes, and something called syngas, which is a mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. And that can be used to make other useful chemicals we got. Like, you remember there was like an ammonia shortage?
Yeah.
It could be used to make ammonia.
Okay. All right. So both of these, they're not perfect solutions.
No. Right.
But when considering the alternative,
right,
then these are better options.
It's better than just like letting plastic sit in the ground or in the ocean, right? So it's like, well, if we've made all this much plastic garbage already, we should do something with it instead of just let it sit, is the idea.
So there is some criticism out there, but when, again, considering the alternative, it seems to be a pretty good option.
Yeah.
So then is advanced recycling going to be a term that we're going to become a lot more familiar with coming up soon?
Yeah, I think so. They're actually opening a huge center in Ulsan. I think it's projected to open by 2025.
Really?
And it's going to combine a few of these different technologies. So, yeah, we'll see. This might become something more popular here. Right now, it's just kind of taking off in Europe.
Okay.
So they said a bunch of the European Union countries have already got big recycling centers, including these technologies.
Well, that's good for Korea, though, because those are the kind of the guinea pigs, if you will.
Right, exactly.
Those are the test spots. Learn from them what went well, what didn't go well, and then when opening up that facility in Ulsan, then they can do that perhaps a step ahead of someone or a country that was maybe opening for the very first time.
For sure. Yeah, the technology will be tested by then, and yeah, they'll definitely, and they're working with other companies as well, international companies, to develop that site. So, yeah.
Final question. What about the area around those recycling plants?
So this is another thing, is like, it takes a lot of energy to do these processes, right? But it also takes a lot of filtration to make sure these facilities are not leaking things into the air or into the water. Ulsan's a port city, right?
So
you don't want that.
If not done correctly, and we're not saying not done correctly in Ulsan, I don't mean that. I mean not done correctly anywhere, then
it could be a problem.
It could be a problem, and citizens of the local communities probably want to educate themselves as best they can on the processes and keep up to date with what's going on at these plants as well.
For sure. And that they mentioned that in this article. There's one woman who works at a recycling company in Boulder, Colorado, and she says, people are kind of getting upset at this point because they're hearing I thought recycling, I'm spending my time sorting these things. What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Why is it coming back to us in the environment?
Yeah, right.
So
interesting story to get us going today. More coming up with Casey after this. This is Lenny Kravitz, Human. That was Lenny Kravitz with Human, and today with Casey, we're getting caught up in some news stories that kind of slipped through the cracks, maybe for you and for many people out there, but still more important that we know than if we don't know. So what's our second story about today?
I think this is something, I don't know if this is just for families, but if anybody buys a lot of batteries, I think this is good news for you. Do you find yourself buying a lot of batteries?
Not so much.
Okay. Because, these days a lot of batteries are rechargeable, right?
Well, that and that the things that you use the most, like your phone or whatever, maybe your earbuds. But what else? The front door of your house, maybe.
Right. I hate when that goes out.
Your remote controls.
Right.
Things like that. So I don't buy batteries that often.
Okay. It might be an issue for families. We got 2 kids. It seems like
toys.
Oh my God. Everything's got batteries.
Right.
And there's always like a swap going on. Well, we don't have enough batteries, so what do you not want to play with?
And you open up the back and you just try and spin it around, thinking that will magically create more energy inside the battery.
Please.
It makes no sense to do it every time.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's an ongoing thing at our house. So when I saw this, I was like, sweet. This was from Popular Science, as you know, one of my favorites. This is the headline was battery prices are plummeting. Say that 3 times fast. That's good news for the planet. So I was like, my first thought would be, well, that's probably bad news because people will buy more.
Yeah, right.
But they're saying that's good news. So I was like, okay, well, why would that be? The reason is it all comes back to our future. And, as we were talking about plastic before, plastic's looking pretty dire. It's not going to be good if we keep, doing things as we are. The thing about batteries is we're using a lot of these batteries that are based on lithium as the main chemical, and those are getting a lot cheaper to produce.
Oh, okay. So lithium batteries are better for the environment.
Right.
Lithium itself is becoming cheaper to produce, or just the battery making process?
The battery making process and the fact there are more kinds of competing technologies as well. So, and why does this matter and why is this good for the planet? Well, one of the biggest problems we have is we talk about switching to renewable energy, right? Everybody's like, yes, we must do that. I think most people agree that's a good idea. So that would include wind farms and solar plants and all that stuff, right? But a lot of times when California's famously going through this now, they're making too much energy and they've got nowhere to store it.
Oh.
They don't have enough batteries. So California is a very sunny place, in case you're unfamiliar. So they will typically, I think over the last year, they've been making more energy than they need. And then it just kind of, what are we going to do? It goes to waste. They have to discharge it because they have nowhere to store it.
They just release it.
Yeah. And there has been ideas should we sell it to our neighbors, other neighboring states? But still, the power transmission systems are not really as efficient as they should be yet. But one of the biggest problems is batteries. And these lithium batteries, we talked recently about the lithium batteries, those tiny little button batteries. Mm-hmm. Those are typically lithium, and what's in your phone or in your laptop. And those have been very expensive. And because they did say in this article that the global battery market largely depends on these critical minerals like lithium, but they're only sourced from a handful of countries. They said China alone accounts for more than half of the material processing for lithium and cobalt.
Oh.
So that's when, when countries have issues, country to country, let's imagine.
They can control the price of the lithium.
There you go.
Yeah. So does that mean then that things containing lithium batteries in the future could become cheaper, like smartphones?
Yes. That's probably will it drive down the smartphone cost? I'm guessing not. I'm finding they're going to find new ways to push up the prices. But one of the big things that this will change the prices is electric vehicles.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, because for a lot of people, that is the reason they're not buying them. I know personally, sure, I wouldn't mind having one, but they're expensive.
Well, and I read a story, I think it was from the UK, and I forget whether I think I talked about it on the show as well. One of the big problems with electric vehicles is the battery size. Right.
And weight, yep.
And it's just one battery. Right. So if you've never thought about what an electric vehicle is like underneath, almost from front to back, is one giant battery.
Right.
And if you get in a car accident and that battery is damaged, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Your entire battery needs to be replaced, even if it's just like the front left part of it or something.
Right.
So that was an issue in the UK with like insurers. The insurance was really expensive for these vehicles. And then landfill in the future as well.
Right.
So with this cheaper production of lithium, these battery prices will be cheaper, which means the cars will be cheaper, which means perhaps insurance would be cheaper. I don't know if that handles the landfill problem with lithium batteries from EVs, but anyway, more affordable cars is better.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And, one of the biggest things for, consumers, for like a person-to-person level is that's mainly what you can do. If you live in apartment buildings, you can't really switch to like solar power or anything like that. You can't put a giant, wind thing outside your window. So, yeah, not yet. Maybe that could be coming.
Yeah.
But that'll be a big change for, consumers being able to afford these electronic vehicles. And at the same time this is all happening, there is new technology, like I said, competing technology for different kinds of lithium batteries. One of those is a lithium iron phosphate battery. And they said those are increasingly being used in new electric vehicles. And those rely on a whole new chemistry method which doesn't contain nickel or cobalt, which kind of levels the playing field internationally speaking. If lithium is more available, but the other rare earth materials are not, if they're only coming from one source, and that source is like, well, we're going to push up the price this month. We don't like what you just did.
Are these price changes coming fast enough for us to see a change in prices anytime soon?
For electric vehicles, probably so. But they did say another big change that we might see the price reflected is the energy grids, because if these batteries can be made much cheaper, then the energy grid can be replaced from the traditional transmission systems and, using fossil fuels. If they can get enough batteries to store the energy produced by wind and solar, that should drop electric prices as well.
Oh, that's good news.
That would be good news for everybody, too.
Interesting stories today, as always, when Casey comes into the studio. By the way, I'll have to send you a link to a video I watched. It was talking about that word consumer and how that word just reduces us to just such a, like, almost cockroach level.
Right. Not human.
No, exactly. Yeah, we lose our human identity when marketers look at us because we're only seen as consumers. I'll send you a link.
What will they consume?
That's a different issue for a different day, I guess. Anyway, good stuff from Casey today. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again next time.
All right. See you next time.
Take care, Casey. Stay with me for hour number 2. It's going to be Mooney Long to finish the first, Made for Me.
BEFM 부산 영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Join us at the Busan Cinema Center on May 18th for an unforgettable pop song contest. BFM is excited to present 팝송의 끝을 본 사람들, featuring the talented stars of All-Star English as part of the celebrations of the 19th Busan Global Gathering. Come and be a part of the grand finale at 2:30 p.m. at the outdoor stage, where 7 of the most talented competitors will battle it out for the top prize. But that's not all. You can also enjoy a special performance by R&B star Kim Jo-han, along with me, Minsu, and Campbell Asia, the hosts of All-Star English. Don't miss out on the fun and exciting events for the audience as well. So make sure to mark your calendars for May 18th at 2:30 p.m. and be part of a very special day filled with music, entertainment, and memorable moments at the Busan Cinema Center. See you there!
The time is now 3 o'clock.
You're listening to Steve Hatherly Reboot on BEFM 90.5.
crew.
That was Jaguar Twin with Bad Feeling Oompa Loompa. Have you seen the new Wonka film yet, by the way? It's been out of the theaters, I think, for probably quite a while now. I think I saw it on VOD. I want to watch it again. I don't know what Oompa Loompa is included in that song title. Anyway, really, really great film if you haven't seen it just yet. And if you do like musicals, then you're going to love it. If you don't like musicals, then I would say no. Bad Feeling Oompa Loompa is from the film, unaffiliated actually with the 2023 film Wonka, but it does utilize the lyrics and melody from the refrain of the Oompa Loompa songs of the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know if you saw the remake of that with, that was a Tim Burton film. Was it not Tim Burton with Johnny Depp? I could be wrong about the director. I like that. The original film from 71 was, oh gosh, I want to say Gene Wilder. Am I right when I say that? I could be wrong about that as well. Anyway, I've heard. I didn't see the original, but I've heard it's great. I liked the Johnny Depp one, and I think I liked the new one the most. If I'm being honest, I think I like that one the most. Anyway, they released. Like I said, there was no connection to the 2023 film Wonka. But the song was purposely released in December of last year to coincide with the film's release, kind of riding on its coattails, so to speak, I suppose. Fun song to get us into the second hour of Steve Hatherly Reboot on this Monday afternoon. Thank you so much for staying with me for hour number 2. You're listening on BEFM 90.5 in Busan, 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Zhongguan, and Noksan areas. In Seoul on TBS EFM 101.3 and in Gwangju on GFN 98.7. Again, thank you for hanging around for hour number 2 today. Coming up, all right, so we're going to switch over topics here, aren't we? We're going to go with daily affirmations for our fun fact of the day today. And I'm kind of cheating. It's not really a fact at all, is it? But I wanted to talk about some of these things because of our me, myself, and I topic. Some of the affirmations I agree with, some of them I don't. Affirmations are a big thing in psychology, right? And today's kind of Psychology Day on the show. That's why I chose it as a topic. But yeah, for people who are feeling down, for people who are feeling depressed, these affirmations can be a really powerful tool, I think, on the road to recovery, if you will. That said, sometimes the affirmations can go a little bit too far, according to some people. According to me, too. I don't, believe in all of these affirmations. I think some are a little bit extreme. But there are people out there who think that they perhaps cause damage even. And that's going to be our topic for me, myself, and I. So for our fun fact of the day, some of these positive affirmations to live by. I've got a list of 30. I'm not going to go over all 30. I'll just kind of go down the list and then stop every once in a while to kind of comment on what I think about some of them. And then after that, for me, myself, and I, the story of a man who is pushing back at what he calls a culture of relentless toxic positivity. This isn't a no one. This isn't just a guy with an opinion like me. No, this is someone who has the right to an opinion. He's an author. He's a mental health advocate, and he shared his thoughts on toxic positivity. I think it's worthwhile to know what he thinks on that topic. Really interesting, kind of to find the balance. So, like I said, we'll go with the super positive through our fun fact, and then for me, myself, and I will have a look at, okay, wait. Maybe we should be kind of backing off the positive, just like, dial it back like 10%, something like that. So those will be our 2 topics for the fun fact and for me, myself, and I. After that, we'll have perfect playlists. We've got the best songs for every situation, and then I'll check your messages throughout the second hour of the show as well. Question of the day today. This is what I want to know. What is your life motto? 여러분의 좌우명은 무엇인가요? To be honest, I think I've asked you this question before, but I do enjoy this topic and this question from time to time. Why? Because they change. It changes, right? Your motto can change. I told you for many years when I was younger, my motto was do it until it's not fun anymore. And that motto applied to almost everything in my life, including my work, including my relationships, including my friendships. It included every aspect of my life, as a matter of fact, to the point that I left my home country. I wasn't enjoying living in Nova Scotia. I wasn't enjoying my career path at that time. So I made a decision at a very young age to kind of stop what I was doing and then take a new path and take a new course. So I think the thing about life mottos is that they can be a really powerful tool to put you in the right direction, but maybe only for certain context. Maybe a life motto shouldn't apply. I'm just talking out loud here. I'm not trying to preach anything. Maybe they shouldn't apply to every aspect of our lives. Therefore, I'm just thinking now, maybe we need various mottos. Maybe we need one for work, one for relationships, one for friendships, one for adventure. I don't know. Maybe we do need more than one. Maybe they don't always fill the whole board, I guess. All right, so let's see now. Life motto. I had another one. The other one was follow your dreams unless your dreams are stupid. Now, let me explain what that means. I think a lot of people sometimes have aspirations that are somewhat unrealistic, if not truly unrealistic. My example that I always used to give was, if my dream is to be the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, well, let's see. I've never had a professional baseball career, and I'm 48 years old. The odds of me becoming the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees are 0. Therefore, that is a stupid dream that needs to be given up on immediately. Do you see my point? Follow your dreams unless they are dumb, and then get a new one. That one still kind of stays in my pocket, to be honest with you. I kind of keep tabs because I'm a dreamer, right? My wife tells me that all the time. I'm a dreamer. I have so many wonderful plans for my life. Over the weekend, let me tell you this. I found a new hobby over the weekend, making tea, but not just any tea, creating my own recipes. And I said to my wife, hey, why don't I have like a tea shop in the future? And she said, what? I said, think about it. I could make these recipes, these unique recipes, and then in the daytime, it could be like a tea shop. I could have a record player in there with all these LPs on the wall to choose from, and it would be really cool music because I think I know, enough about music to play great music on a daily basis. And she said, okay, yeah, I agree with that. And then we could, sell the teas, these wonderful creations. And in the evening time, we could put alcohol into those teas and we could sell cocktails and maybe change the genre of music into more like a lounge vibe. You know what I mean? Like a chill lounge, cool place to hang out. This is my new dream. I never even thought about this 72 hours ago. So therefore, I have to keep this kind of, realistic dreams unless they're stupid. That kind of reminder to me, so I don't, too many flights of fancy, if you will. But I think it's nice to have dreams, and our mottos can help us achieve those. So that's the question today. 여러분의 좌우명은 무엇인가요? All right, let me check a couple of more answers here. MJ, what's MJ saying today? Have to scroll back up. MJ says, my motto is faith, hope, love. Words to live by, huh, MJ? Yeah, right. Faith, if you have it, that's amazing. Hope, if you have it, that's amazing. Love, if you have it, that's amazing. I agree. Faith, hope, and love. If you have all of those things, then you have to consider yourself a lucky person, I suppose. Ben said, I had many setbacks after moving away from Korea. So my motto is stay optimistic and positive. It's not easy, but it's possible with self-strength and more so, tangible help from people around oneself. Yeah, that's true. Having good people around you who can offer you some good words of advice, if not a helping hand from time to time. That's an important part of success in life too, I think, right? Having, conversely, maybe some not so great people around you could send you off in the wrong direction. Look at any young celebrities throughout history as an example of what can go wrong if you meet the wrong people. Oh, we talked about Mike Tyson on the show recently, right? There's a good example of that. Thanks for the answer, Ben. Stay optimistic and positive. Yeah, it's true. One of my other favorite mottos that I like to keep in mind, and this isn't mine, I learned this somewhere, and I don't remember where I saw this, whether it was an internet meme or from a film or something like that. But the message was you can't control the chaos around you. You can only control your reaction to the chaos. And I loved the minute I saw that or heard it, I absolutely fell in love with that message because it never is false. It is so entirely true. And my wife and I talk about this sometimes. You know, if I get upset about something or if she gets upset about something, then we try to remind each other about this type of thing, you know, upset with some situation at work or something that happened out in public or just whatever, right? And whenever you go out in the morning until the moment you come home at night, you can't control what happens, right? You can't control the traffic. You can't control the weather. You can't control how people will treat you. What you can control is how you react to all of those things. So we remind each other of that message whenever we tend to get a little upset. And it really helps. You know, it really, truly helps. So maybe you can remember that one as well. I've been talking about that for years. I wish I could remember where I saw it. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, this is amazing. It's so true. So I've never forgotten that one either. It's a fun question, isn't it, to think about? Send me your answers, pounder sharp 9050. That's on your cell phone for 101. Add us on Kakao Talk for free. Send messages for free by searching BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. By the way, I'm not trying to preach. I'm not trying to sit up here on my soapbox. I'm just sharing my own opinions about my own thoughts about how we go about things in our daily lives, my wife and I. Smartphone, you can download the app from any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs there and leave us a comment after logging in. All right, let's get to our expression for today. This is a good one. This is particularly good at work. Ooh, actually, you know, depending on who you live with, this might be useful at home too. In Korean and in English. So in this scene, this is from King the Land. The employee is complaining to the boss. The boss looked at the report and was not happy with the report. The report doesn't have this information. The report should have this information, but it doesn't have this information. And this is what the employee said to the boss as a response.
그걸로 꼬투리 잡아야겠어?
Super high-pitched voice, right? She's very upset. She said, 그걸로 꼬투리를 잡아야겠어. Now, that sounds super difficult, and it is, right? So let's make it as easy as we possibly can. Well, first, let's use that expression and only that expression. 꼬투리 잡다. 꼬투리 잡다. And please forgive my pronunciation if it's a little bit off because it's that 상기읒 at the top. And those sang letters are always harder for me in Korean. 꼬투리 잡다. What it means is to make something small appear something big. We have another expression in English to make a mountain out of a molehill. But this expression in Korean can be a little bit different. This expression, the translation was, do you have to nitpick. Nitpick is spelled Nitpick. All right, so let me give you some examples in English first, and then we'll give you a couple of examples in Korean and see if we can come away with a couple of good sentences, and easy sentences at that. All right, so let's say that I give the script to Napidi. Okay, I've prepared it. Here it is. I've actually, Napidi prepared this for me. And I give it to him, and then Napidi says, oh, yeah, can you change the spacing, please? I say, oh, come on. I mean, that's a little tiny detail. You don't need to care about the spacing. 꼬투리 잡지 마.
그걸로 꼬투리 잡아야겠어?
Yeah, right. Meaning, 잡지마, 뭐뭐뭐뭐지마 means don't do that. So, 꼬투리 잡지마 means don't nitpick or stop nitpicking. You can put ing on the end of this as well. That's an office example. Let's say that, okay, this one's for the kids. Okay, let's say your mom or your dad is always super closely checking your clothing, right? And before you go to school, your mom is always like, come here, and touches your hair. And come here, let me check your shirt. Oh, here, put one more button, button this one. Then you can say to your mom, 꼬투리 잡지 마세요, ma. Stop nitpicking. Little tiny unnecessary detail. Stop talking about that. That's what nitpicking is. If you want to make another sentence, here's another one in Korean for you. This one's more difficult. But if your boss is always nitpicking you, then you can say, 나PD, please correct me if I'm wrong. 항상 보스가 나한테 꼬투리 잡아요. Oh, my boss is always nitpicking about my work or something like that. Or you can stop there. My boss is always nitpicking. Good expression in English and in Korean too, right? You can use this everywhere. Remember, if you say to someone, 꼬투리 잡지 마, well, their reaction might not be very good, right? Because you're telling them they're nitpicking. So just be aware of that. Same thing in English as well. There you go. Those are your expressions for today. Hopefully that helps out your Korean or your English, depending on which one you are learning, if not both. We'll have a break, and when we come back, we'll switch over our theme in hour number 2 to positivity, or perhaps maybe we should be having a lack of it in our lives. But we'll start with some positive affirmations, and we'll get to those after Ariana Grande. We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. Time now for our fun fact of the day. That was Ariana Grande, We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. And for our fun fact, and as we get into kind of our main theme for hour number 2, we're going to look at some positive affirmations. And according to, I think, a lot of studies, psychological studies and scientists, the studies that they've conducted or surveys that they've conducted, behavioral care providers as well, they've found that self-affirmation reminds people of important aspects of their self, enabling them to view events from a pretty reasonable or considered or rational viewpoint. And this can lead to very positive outcomes in various areas, such as psychological and emotional and physical health. Also, positive effects in education and social conflicts. And people think about this all the time, I think, right? The power of positivity. We've heard it a million times on the radio or on television, and it's something that we love to talk about, I think, myself included. The biggest barrier, psychologists say, to overcoming certain problems in your life, if you're feeling down and you're trying to use these affirmations as a way to correct your course, if you will, is that you have to believe in what you're saying. If you're just saying these affirmations for the sake of saying them, they're going to have little to no effect. Not my opinion, according to the psychologists referenced in this article. And I think that's probably true. You know, if you don't believe what you're saying, then you're going to have a hard time accomplishing that goal, right? Affirmations can help you actualize your goals if you really want them to, or maybe they can do something as simple as getting you through the grind of a tough day, right? So let's go over some of them, because there's probably about 1 million of these on the internet, right? And feel free, if you have any affirmations that you use on a daily basis, or maybe an affirmation that you think is a little bit too much, a little bit over the top, kind of a waste of time, then you can text that to me as well. And again, affirmations, positive affirmations, are things that we kind of say to ourselves as a reminder that we are doing good things in our lives. So now I'll give you a bunch of examples here. Let's see what we agree with in terms of helping us, or what we don't think would be very helpful. This first one that I'm going to share, I love this one. I think this is fantastic. My negative thoughts don't define me, and here's where it loses me, and are outshined by the light. Okay. Well, I like the first part of that, and then I don't like the second part of that. But let's talk about the first part of that. My negative thoughts don't define me. I remember when I went to therapy many, many years ago, and I've talked about the fact that I did go before, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. In fact, I think I kind of brag about it, because it's one of my greatest achievements, I think, in life, that I was brave enough and strong enough to do that. And I remember one of the things that the therapist said to me a long time ago was that thoughts are just thoughts, and it doesn't mean anything. He said, if you take the thoughts of all the people in the world and paint them on the wall for everyone to see, everyone would think everyone else is an absolute psychopath or a sociopath. So don't worry about negative thoughts. Everybody experiences them. The key is more like letting them come, embracing them, and then letting them go, perhaps just as easily as they came. So I love that. Your negative thoughts, they are definitely not who you are. I really, really like that one. The second part, that's where they lose me. That's where these affirmations always kind of lose me. They are outshined by the light. Okay. All right. Well, relax a little bit with the with how you're putting that sentence together. That one, though, the first part, I really agree with. How about this one? What do you think? I create opportunity and happiness wherever I go. For me, I don't think I need this kind of affirmation in my life. I create happiness wherever I go. That sounds a little bit, I don't know, Care Bear-esque. Not PD, you know the Care Bears? They have on their chest, they have the power to shoot light and happiness and sunshine out of their chest. That sounds a little bit of like Care Bears for me. That one I'm not really a fan of. How about this? My past doesn't define my future. Every day is a fresh start with a new beginning to make my own. I actually really liked this one, right? I think that a lot of people in their lives, when they make a mistake or they make a big mistake, then they hold on to that for too long, potentially, and it kind of follows them around. And it becomes almost an anchor, I think, which is a dangerous thing. And it prevents you from rising up, or let's make it a little bit less dramatic, just moving forward emotionally in life, right? A mistake is a mistake, and it's called a mistake because you weren't supposed to do it. You didn't mean to do it per se, but it's done and it's over with. So allow yourself to move forward. So I like that. My past does not define my future, and every day is a brand new opportunity to start that new future. How about this one? If I fall, I will rise up with wisdom and strength. It sounds like Josh Groban lyrics, doesn't it? You raise me up. I sing that at Norebang sometimes, by the way. That's one of my go-to songs. That one maybe a little bit too dramatic. How about this one? Maybe we'll just do a couple of more here. I'm grateful to wake up healthy and whole today. I'm grateful to wake up healthy and whole. Yeah, I think about that sometimes, right? There's not enough in our lives that we appreciate, perhaps, on a daily basis. So I always say, if you wake up in the morning, that's a pretty good day, right? It means you're alive. There's a poem from, maybe the early 1900s, late 1800s, talking about people always question the existence of life and why we are here. And they look at the sky and say, what is the purpose of this? Why? What is my existence all about? And the answer, according to the poet, was, you are here. And that's the answer to your question. So appreciate that. The simple fact that you are here alive on this planet, that's enough to be happy about. So I try to remember that one as well. I like those. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. Now, I just wanted to give you some examples of positive affirmations, because when we come back from this break, we're going to switch over to me, myself, and I. And we're going to talk about someone. His name is Dave Tarnowski, and he's pushing back at what he calls a culture of relentless toxic positivity. So we look at the other side of this coin when we come back from this. This is Charlotte Cardin, Confetti. That was Charlotte Cardin with Confetti, and now it's time for Me, Myself, and I. And I'm sure you've probably never heard of this guy. I hadn't before. He's a mental health advocate, and he's an author. His name is Dave Tarnowski, and he says that society has this tendency towards toxic positivity, and he says it's starting to feel like brainwashing. Tarnowski turned that positivity on its head when he launched his Disappointing Affirmations Instagram account in July of 2022. It went viral and has now more than 2 million followers. His new book, Disappointing Affirmations, Unfollow Your Dreams, expands on his social media musings, pairing photos that he's taken of serene landscapes, waterfalls, dramatic coastlines, sunsets, and the like, with some of his viral Instagram posts and new sayings. He hopes that the sayings will resonate with anyone who bristles at relentless toxic positivity, explaining in his book that negative thoughts should be examined, not chased away. He said those feelings need affirming too. I'll give you some examples of some of his anti-positivity, anti-information messages in just a sec. They're pretty funny. Tarnowski, he said that he's dealt with depression. He's also been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And he found that channeling a mantra, that it's okay to not be okay, has helped him approach his struggles with a healing pragmatism that he hopes can help others. He was asked by an interviewer, "You refer to those disappointing affirmations as making light by shining light. What do you mean by that?" He said, "I'm making light of the darkness by shining a light on that. I think I really started understanding my own darkness when I was officially diagnosed as bipolar. As I started reading up on the disorder, I saw myself everywhere. At that time, Disappointing Affirmations was still 2 years away, but I was making memes for some other pages I had been running for years that started taking on things like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, imposter syndrome, and so on. So with my Disappointing Affirmations account, I was able to step right up to the point and showcase different negative thoughts, old stories, or worst-case scenarios, and have a laugh at them." Interesting concept, isn't it? Someone who is diagnosed with depression and bipolar disorder, kind of bringing attention to those negative thoughts that people typically feel, shining a light or a spotlight, if you will, on those negative thoughts, and then saying, it's okay that these are here. These should be recognized too. One of his main points is that he says people want to ignore their negative feelings or their depression or their depressed thoughts. And he said those can be a help as well. He said, I find that the trick with depression is to let it be itself. I know that may sound silly, but when I find myself suddenly in the tunnel of depression, as an old friend once put it to me, I just let it do its thing. Because in the past, when I'd get frustrated at being depressed, I'd feel powerless over it, and I'd hate myself for it. He said, I view it now as part of myself, and I just need to accept it, just need to accept that that's one of the sides of me. And I also need to give a huge shout out to all the people out there who think that way too, all the people who have helped me think that way. It was with their help and support that I was able to begin examining all of who I am emotionally and psychologically and otherwise. I think it's a great attitude. What do you think about it? I think that's a wonderful way to look at it. And he has a tremendous sense of humor. So just before we wrap up this segment, here's a couple of the examples from his Instagram account, these memes that he puts out there. You know how everybody says this? There's a favorite shoe company for many people, the Swish company. They say, just do it. And everybody always says, you can do it, you can do it, you can do this, you got this. Well, this is his response. Yeah, you can do it, but you probably won't. That's right. People talk a lot about what they're I'm going to do this and I'm going to do. Yep, you can do it, but you probably won't. How about this one? This one made me laugh. Stop overthinking. You are the only one who cares. That's true. you get inside your head, right? You get inside your own head and you think other people have these thoughts. Oh my God, what are people going to think about this? What are they going to say? Oh my gosh, at the office, what? Nobody else is thinking about that. You're the only one who's thinking. It is self-absorbed behavior. How about this one? This is good. This is the last one I'll share. It's okay to have feelings, but do you need to have so many? Check out his Instagram account, Dave Tarnowski. He takes a topic that is often uncomfortable for people, and he makes it accessible. And when you take a topic that's uncomfortable for people and make it accessible, then that allows for a lot more people to be educated about a particular topic that maybe they didn't know about it before. That's my opinion about that. I think he's doing a great thing there. That is today's Me, Myself, and I. Here is Enrique Iglesias and Miranda Lambert, Space in My Heart. That was Enrique Iglesias and Miranda Lambert, Space in My Heart. And now it's time for Perfect Playlist. And this week, our theme, Monday means we have a new theme, right? Our theme is going to be songs with the number 5 in the title. It is May, after all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see what we can find musically to represent not so much the month, but the number. We have time for just one song today, and it's going to be from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Take 5 is the name of the track. This is an instrumental, but it is one of those tunes that when you hear it, you go, oh yeah, right, I know that. I've heard that before. It's a song everyone knows by ear, but very few by name. There's a reason it's so well known and used everywhere. It's because it's a really really good piece of music. So, like I said, we have time for just one today, and it's going to be from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Take 5. That was the Dave Brubeck Quartet with Take 5. Today, I asked you about your motto, if you have one these days, and 1191 texted in and said, even if it's not a motto, I always try to do things sincerely, but I don't think that's always fruitful. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably not always fruitful, but that shouldn't be a reason to change either, I don't think. That comes from Yugyo, from Confucianism, I think, right? There's a story like some man came up to Confucius and he was really rude. He was really kind to him, and Confucius in turn was kind to that man. Then someone came up to Confucius and was really rude to him, and Confucius was kind to that person. And Confucius's employee or somebody, I don't know, his cousin or somebody said to him, why did you treat both of those people kindly? Only one was polite to you, the other was rude. And Confucius's answer was, everybody deserves kindness. It's a very dramatic story, but my point is, don't change how you act. If you're a nice person, be a nice person. Like, remember what we talked about before? You can't control the chaos around you. You can't control how people respond, right? All right, before we finish up, how about a couple of more anti-affirmations from Dave Tarnowski? These are fantastic. Act as if, this is from his book, by the way, act as if what you do truly matters. It doesn't, but you can pretend that it does, so it helps you feel better about your life. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? How about this one? That's right. Some things don't work out for a reason. The reason? You made a mistake. Get over it. It's also very good. How about this? You matter. Yep, you matter. Just not as much as you think you do. We are all small individuals on the earth, right? One last one. There is only one you, and that is more than enough. Yes, that's both positive and it's not negative. I think that's a positive one, right? I like that one. You matter, but just not as much as you think you do. Those are funny. You can check those out online. Anyway, that'll do it for Steve Hatherly Reboot for this afternoon. Thank you very much for hanging out with me over the last couple of hours. Had a good time today. I hope you did as well. Thank you to Casey for today's Need to Know. Thank you to you, as always, for your listenership and your participation. I've been your host, Steve Hatherly, and I will leave you with Kansas. Carry on, Wayward Son. Enjoy that. Enjoy your day, and we'll reboot again tomorrow.
Carry on my